The three types of justice referred to in the preamble of the Constitution are option A, economic, political, and religious. Option B, social, economic, and political. Option C, political, economic, and religious. Option D, religious, economic, political. And the correct answer for this question is option B, social, economic, and political. And the next question is the preamble derives its authority from option A, Constitution of India, option B, Parliament of India, option C, the People of India, option D, Government of India Act 1935. And the correct answer for this question is option C, the People of India. And the next question is date of adoption of the Constitution. Option A, January 26, 1950. Option B, November 26, 1949. Option C, December 13, 1946. Option D, January 22, 1947. And the correct answer for this question is option B, November 26, 1949. And the next question is which of the following words are not there in the original Constitution? Option A, sovereign. Option B, socialist. Option C, democratic. Option D, republic. And the correct answer for this question is option B, socialist. The word socialist, secular, and integrity were added to the preamble by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. About 42nd Amendment Act I had discussed in our previous video. And the next question is objectives of the Indian Constitution. Option A, justice. Option B, liberty. Option C, equality. Option D, fraternity. Option E, all of the above. And the correct answer for this question is option E, all of the above. And the next question is in which case the Supreme Court of India held that the preamble as the part of the Constitution. Option A, Berubari Union case. Option B, Keshavananda Bharati case. Option C, Minerva Mills case. Option D, S.R. Bommai case. And the correct answer for this question is option B, Keshavananda Bharati case. First question, who was the first Governor General of Bengal? Option A, Lord Warren Hastings. Option B, Lord Canning. Option C, Lord William Bentinck. Option D, Lord Cornwallis. And answer for this question is option A, Lord Warren Hastings. Next question. Establishment of Supreme Court at Kolkata, which comprising of one Chief Justice and 3 other judges, established in which year? Option A, 1775. Option B, 1774. Option C, 1773. Option D, 1776. And answer for this question is option B, 1774. Next question. Which act made the Governor General of Bengal as the Governor General of India? Option A, Charter Act of 1833. Option B, Charter Act of 1853. Option C, Charter Act of 1813. Option D, Government of India Act of 1858. Option A, Charter Act of 1833. Next question. Who was the first Governor General of India? Option A, Lord Canning. Option B, Lord William Bentinck. Option C, Lord Curzon. Option D, C. Rajagopalachari. And answer for this question is option B, Lord William Bentinck. You have to remember these questions. Who was the first Governor General of India, first Governor General of Bengal, Viceroy of India? There may be chances of asking this question. Next question. Which act known as the Act for Good Government of India? Option A, Government of India Act of 1858. Option B, Indian Council Act of 1861. Option C, Government of India Act of 1919. Option D, Government of India Act of 1935. And correct answer for this question is option A, Government of India Act of 1858. Next question. Which act changed the designation of Governor General of India to that of Viceroy of India? Option A, Government of India Act of 1919. Option B, Government of India Act of 1909. Option C, Government of India Act of 1858. Option D, Government of India Act of 1935. And answer for this question is option C, Government of India Act of 1858. Next question. Who was the Viceroy of India? Option A, Lord William Bentinck. Option B, Lord Warren Hastings. Option C, Lord Canning. Option D, Lord Wellesley. And correct answer for this question is option C, Lord Canning. Next question. Portfolio system introduced by whom? In which year? Sorry, I forgot to mention years for these options. Option A, Lord Canning. Option B, Lord William Bentinck. Option C, Lord Hastings. Option D, none of these. And correct answer for this question is option A, Lord Canning, and in 1859. You have to remember this point. Ordinance issued by Lord Canning means Viceroy for a period of 6 months. You have to remember this point. Next question. Which act, also known as Morley-Minto reforms? Option A, Government of India Act of 1919. Option B, Government of India Act of 1909. Option C, Government of India Act of 1935. Option D, Government of India Act of 1858. And correct answer for this question is option B, Government of India Act of 1909. Next question. Which act, also known as Montagu-Chelmsford reforms? Option A, Government of India Act of 1909. Option B, Government of India Act of 1919. Option C, Government of India Act of 1935. Option D, Government of India Act of 1947 or Independence of India Act of 1947. And correct answer for this question is option B, Government of India Act of 1919. Next question. Which act introduced diarchy? Option A, Government of India Act of 1935. Option B, Government of India Act of 1919. Option C, Government of India Act of 1858. Option D, Charter Act of 1833. And correct answer for this question is option B, Government of India Act of 1919. Diarchy means double rule. Next question. Which act introduced system of communal representation for Muslims? Option A, Government of India Act of 1919. Option B, Government of India Act of 1909. Option C, Government of India Act of 1935. Option D, Regulating Act of 1773. And correct answer for this question is option B, Government of India Act of 1909. Next question. Who came to be known as the father of communal electorate? Who came to be known as the father of communal electorate? Option A, Lord Minto. Option B, Lord Morley. Option C, Lord Montague. Option D, Lord Chelmsford. And correct answer for this question is option A, Lord Minto. Next question. Which act introduced provincial autonomy in provinces? Option A, Government of India Act of 1935. Option B, Government of India Act of 1919. Option C, Government of India Act of 1909. Option D, Government of India Act of 1858. Correct answer for this question is option A, Government of India Act of 1935. Next question. Communal award announced in which year? Option A, 1930. Option B, 1931. Option C, 1932. Option D, 1935. And correct answer for this question is option C, 1932. Communal award announced by British Prime Minister MacDonald. First question. The Constituent Assembly held its first meeting on December 9th, 1946. Next question. Who was elected as the temporary president of the Assembly? Dr. Sachidananda Sinha. Who was elected as the permanent president of the Assembly? Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Who were elected as the vice presidents of the Assembly? H. C. Mukherjee and V. T. Krishnamachari. India adopted the national flag on July 22, 1947. India adopted the national anthem on January 24, 1950. India adopted the national song on January 24, 1950. On the same date, on January 24, 1950, national anthem and national song adopted by the Indian Constitution. How much time was taken to complete the Constitution? 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. The Constituent Assembly held its final session on January 24, 1950. Who was the chairman of the drafting committee? Dr. B. R. Ambedkar. Union Constitution Committee headed by whom? Jawaharlal Nehru. Provincial Constitution Committee headed by whom? Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Steering Committee headed by whom? Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Drafting Committee set up on August 29, 1947. The total expenditure incurred on making the Constitution, 64 lakhs. Elephant was adopted as the symbol or seal of the Constituent Assembly. B. N. Rao was appointed as the constitutional advisor to the Constituent Assembly. The cabinet mission arrived India on March 24, 1946. The cabinet mission consisting of 3 members, Lord Patrick Lawrence, Sir Stafford Cripps, A. V. Alexander. Originally, the Constitution contained how many articles, parts and schedules? 395 articles divided into 22 parts and 8 schedules. Which article deals with the election of the president? Article 54. Second, Article 52 deals there will be a President of India. Third one, who takes oath to the President of India? Chief Justice of India. Fourth question, which article related to the impeachment of the President of India? Article 61. Fifth question, which article deals with the pardoning power of the President? Article 72. Sixth question, Finance Commission deals with the article 280. Present Chairman N.K. Singh. First Chairman of Finance Commission was K.C. Niyogi. Seventh question, which article deals with the Attorney General of India? Article 76. Who act as the President of India in the absence of President of India? Vice President. Ninth question, which article deals with the Vice President of India? Article 63. 10th question, President of India submits his resignation to whom? Vice President of India. And one more important point here is that Vice President of India also submits his resignation to the President of India. 11th question, who appoints the Comptroller and Auditor General of India? President of India. 12th question, which article deals with the Comptroller and Auditor General of India? Article 148. 13th question, who appoints the judges of the Supreme Court? President. 14th question, which article deals with the Vice President of India? Article 63. 15th question, who was the chairman of Rajya Sabha? Vice President of India, also the chairman of Rajya Sabha. 16th question, who act as the president in the absence of president and vice president? Chief Justice of India act as the president in the absence of president and vice president. 17th one, term of office of the president 5 years. 18th question, term of office of the vice president 5 years. 19th question, minimum age required to become a member of the Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly 25 years. 20th, minimum age required to become a member of Rajya Sabha and Legislative Council 30 years. 21, minimum age required to become a Sarpanch 21 years. 22, minimum age required to become a president 35 years. 23, minimum age required to become a vice president of India 35 years. 24th, who is not a member of parliament but take part in the proceedings of both the houses of the parliament and does not have a right to vote? Attorney General of India. 25th, which article called as the heart and soul of the Indian Constitution? Article 32. Who called it as heart and soul of the Indian Constitution? It was called by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Fundamental Rights deals with the part 3. Fundamental Rights deals with the Article 12 to 35. Right to Equality deals with the Articles 14 to 18. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel considered as the chief architect of fundamental rights of the Indian Constitution. Right to property removed from the fundamental rights by which Constitutional Amendment Act? By 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978. Right to property added as a legal right under Article 300A. Article 21 deals with right to life and personal liberty. Article 21A deals with right to education. Who was designated as the protector of the fundamental rights? Supreme Court. The Supreme Court empowered to issue writs under Article 32. The High Court empowered to issue writs under Article 226. Which article prohibits human trafficking? Article 23. Right against exploitation deals with the articles 23 to 24. Right to education has been added as a fundamental right by which Constitutional Amendment Act? 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002. Right to education implemented on 2nd April 2010. The Constitution originally provided the right to property under Article 19 and 31. Who called as the father of the Indian Constitution? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Who is the father of the nation? Mahatma Gandhi ji. Article 19(1) of the Indian Constitution. Article 19(1) of the Constitution deals with right to information. Right to privacy is an integral part of the right to life and personal liberty under Article 21. The Supreme Court empowered to issue how many rights? 5. Habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, quo warranto, certiorari. Fundamental rights are taken from which constitution? United States of America. Which article deals with the joint session of the Parliament? Article 108. Next, who headed the joint session of the Parliament? Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Who headed the joint session of the Parliament in the absence of Speaker? Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha headed the joint session of the Parliament in the absence of Speaker. Who called the both houses of the Parliament for joint session of the Parliament? President. President calls the both houses of the Parliament for joint session for what? Disagreement between both houses of the Parliament over any bill. Sixth one, who headed the joint session of the Parliament in the absence of both Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha? Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha headed the joint session of the Parliament in the absence of both Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Next, which article deals with the money bill? Article 110. Next one, who decides whether a bill is money bill or not? Speaker of the Lok Sabha decides whether a bill is money bill or not. Next, which article deals with the annual financial statement? Article 112. Next one, who appoints the governors of states? President of India appoints the governors of states. 11th question. Electoral College of President consists of elected members of both the houses of Parliament, elected members of legislative assemblies of 28 states, elected members of Union Territories of Delhi, Puducherry and Jammu and Kashmir. Next one, which schedule deals with the official languages? Official languages deals with Schedule 8. Which constitutional amendment called as Mini Constitution of India? 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976 called as Mini Constitution of India. Why it is called as Mini Constitution of India? Because many changes took place in our constitution by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Next one, by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976, which part added to the Indian Constitution? Part 4A. Sorry, I entered B forgottedly. This is the, not B. Next, by 42nd Amendment Act, which added to the Indian Constitution? Part 4A. In our previous question, we discussed by the 42nd Amendment Act, Part 4A added to the Indian Constitution. Here, Part 4A deals with fundamental duties. Fundamental duties were added to the Indian Constitution by 42nd Amendment Act 1976. Fundamental duties were recommended by which committee? Fundamental duties were recommended by Swaran Singh Committee. Originally, we have 10 fundamental duties added by 42nd Amendment Act 1976. 11th fundamental right 11th fundamental duty were added to the Indian Constitution by 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002, which deals with free and compulsory education to the children of age 6 to 14 years. Next, who participates in the impeachment of the President? Elected and nominated members of both the Houses of Parliament, elected and nominated members of state legislative assemblies, elected and nominated members of Union Territories of Delhi, Puducherry, Jammu and Kashmir. Here, in election of the President, only elected members of both the Houses of Parliament, elected members of state legislative assemblies of 28 states, elected members of Delhi, Puducherry and Jammu and Kashmir participated. In impeachment of the President, elected and nominated members of both participate in impeachment of the President. So far, no President has impeached. Next one, national emergency deals with Article 352. State emergency deals with Article 356. Financial emergency deals with Article 360. Next one, state emergency, also known as President rule or constitutional emergency. Emergency provisions are taken from Germany Constitution. Next one, article dealing with the ordinance making power of the President. Article 123. Article dealing with the ordinance making power of the Governor. Article 213. Which article deals with reserving a bill by the Governor for the consideration of the President? Article 200. Next one, article dealing with the Election Commission. Article 324. This is all for today. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe to my channel.